Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Drunken Dungeons. The Drunken Dungeons. I'm not drunk enough, I've had a can before we started. Jay, what are we doing today? I can't pronounce this, so you're doing the introduction. Sorry now to spring this on you.
That's devious. We're doing the Lost Caverns of Tsojcanth. It's by Gary Gygax.
Yeah, the Lost Caverns of Tsojcanth. Let's go with that. I can't even pronounce this properly.
Tsojcanth.
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 Load of code 2 now singing that. This is module S4. It's the last in a special series by Gary Gygax for Greyhawk. First edition, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Yay! Long live AD&D.
Yeah, they're happy to be seeing the back of these. To be honest with you, it's been a long slog. I've enjoyed it, but time to kill Pokemon.
Yeah. The S series is good, but I want to get on to something else now after these at some stage.
Yeah.
Alright, Jay, let's get stuck into this. You DM'd this for us.
I did.
Had you fun?
I enjoyed it.
I
enjoyed it. I don't think he did. There was a couple of parts where I know you definitely did.
Crying in my sleep. No, please don't kill me.
For about 2 months after the mention of the word of the maze, just brought silence to the group. But I had fun. I did have fun with it. There was a couple of creatures in here that I enjoyed running.
Yeah.
There was some bits I left out totally. I don't think for the group we had a really small party for this, and we were 9th level. Near the end, it was very taxing on me.
Yeah, it is very kind of taxing on small groups, isn't it? I mean, most of the adventures for Dungeons and Dragons are made for like 8 players, maybe 6 to 10 players, maybe. You know, I think 6 is a fairly 6 in a group is fairly good as far as I'm concerned now. But it's easy to kind of regulate your encounters to 6-member group.
Right? We had a party of 5, but we only had 4 players from what I can remember on this one. One player ran a mage and a cleric. Point to note going into it though that the cleric was a gnome, and that helped massively at a certain part in this adventure.
Oh yeah, we'll get into that.
But he had been a gnome prior to this scenario. Like we had other adventures. That was just a class he picked was gnome.
Ah, right, yeah. So it wasn't like he picked he done up a gnome character going into this. The character was being ran before
previously.
That.
Yeah.
Alright, I just interrupt you now, Jay. I'm just going to introduce my beer here. So I decided to go for a supermarket craft beer. I don't know if you don't call these craft beers, do you? They're more kind of artisan, no?
Get the full aware.
Yeah. So this is an American Indian Pale Ale by San Miguel, okay? It's called Yakima Valley. It's 6.1%. I think that classifies it as a craft beer.
Yakima Valley.
Yakima Valley, yeah. Yeah, it's an American Indian Pale Ale with a Japanese name on it. Yakima Valley. I'm going to Google where Yakima Valley is if it's even a real place. But it's got lupulus from Yakima Valley. It says with hops from Yakima Valley. So maybe it is American. I'll have a taste of that now.
Yeah, well, it is. Yakima Valley is in Washington.
Where is it?
In fact, Yakima County is Washington State's leader in terms of land use of fruit, vegetables, greens, other agri products.
So it's not in Japan.
Oh.
Certainly is fruity on the hops anyway. Like a nice and hoppy sniff off it. A nice mellow now. I'm after drinking a few cans of Estrella now beforehand, so maybe I just have to have a good slug of this now just to get that taste out the back of my mouth.
Rinse it out.
Jesus. I should have been drinking this morning because we're having a heat wave here. It's like 30 odd degrees or something here. This should have done me. I should have been drinking this yesterday. Would have been good for the heat. What are you on yourself there?
And a soda because I'm hungover from last night.
What you drinking?
Sugar-free twisted fruits.
Oh, craft soda.
yeah, literally. Because I done a bit of a clean up on my brew shed.
Oh, lovely.
And I found beer that I had bought during COVID. So they were like 7 and 8 year old, 12 and 13% stouts.
It's like you found a bag of lost potions, Jay.
Yeah, literally. And there were definitely a potion of invincibility after those craving.
Oh, I'd say so,
I decided to go and have a liter bottle of 12% stout.
Oh.
And
potion of heroism. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was the barley wine that I finished off. That was 12.5, and yeah, it just went downhill from there.
Yeah, a few potions of invisibility after that, was it?
Oh yeah. Well, I must have drank a potion of blindness because that's the state I was in last night.
Yeah, nice one.
Mouldy. It was like that cheese that everybody carries and doesn't eat in the game. You know. It was an eventful night. It's been a while since I went that crazy, and I in fairness to myself, I was sort of thinking that the beer was aged enough anyway.
So yeah, you can't leave it there. You can't leave it there any longer, like Jay. It doesn't go all weird on you, Start hallucinating after the fucking stuff.
But that's probably happened as well last night.
Right, let's get stuck into the start of this anyway, starting off this adventure.
Yeah.
So there's a few pre-gen characters there, obviously, for you. The usual with all Gary Gygax stuff, especially on this. I gotta say that this was again written for a convention. I can't remember the name, but it began with a W. All right, so yeah, I must say that this was written for WinterCon 5 in 1976. And it was kind of based on some of Kunt's work. I should say Rob Kunt's. Not some Kunt's. So Rob Kunt's. Yeah, it was based on some of Rob Kunt's stuff. Maps, I think it was. And then it developed into this, and he was working on it down for a bit in the background, as it was mentioned, and in a couple of dungeon magazines at some stage by Gary. It was going to be put out there, and eventually got put out there with this big chunk of a wilderness exploration area at the start of it. Which when I was rereading this, Jay, I was looking at this going, I can't do this. Honestly, I don't think I can do wilderness exploration. I haven't. It was like, please just get me to the dungeon. Just get me to the dungeon.
Yeah. We did do a bit of the wilderness. You bumped into the hermit,
which is one of the main guys in the whole thing that you really need to bump into. I was looking at it's like 1 in 20 chance you're going to bump into this lad.
Yeah, you managed to meet him, and I thought he was a good character. I placed him into another scenario shortly after that. Well, maybe about 3 months after that, he made a reappearance because he had to come back up to this area again. In the wilderness. But he did make a reappearance. But nobody gave him any grief or anything. You just thought he was a batshit crazy old man and just left him alone,
It's the thing with hermits, like, JT, they're usually extremely overpowered.
Oh, yeah. It's like the barkeep in every adventure,
25th level fighter.
Retired 25th level fighter, But yeah, you did bump into him, so that was a good interaction.
Yeah.
And the only other one that she managed was the elven. Oh,
I know there's an elven patrol around in this place anyway.
Yeah, elven patrol. That's the word I was looking for. But they're them and the worm groups. They were the three.
The worms. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there is a nice big list of encounters here. Like you have 20 different encounters around this place. You have some numbered, and I think the numbered ones, it's saying, you should place certain ones there and then randomly roll the rest of them. But you've got everything from stone giants up here to patrols going around the place. You have a gnome village, you've got an elven encampment, you've got fucking a human encampment there somewhere, bandits and that. You got bandits and you have a group of humans and orcs led by a half-orc who are out capturing hippogriffs. So there you go. Look, orcs and humans can work together. Only when doing evil, though.
Yeah. Poor hippogriffs.
Yeah, poor hippogriffs. Which, if you play it right, you can get a bunch of hippogriffs. But who wants hippogriffs?
I never seen the case of Hamlin and Mountain Dungeons and Dragons, to be honest with you. They're always left outside a cave, and when you come back, they're either dead or gone.
Exactly. I've seen many paladins mount dead outside a cave entrance, and paladins crying, just like, why me?
Why is it the 5th horse this week? No.
Damn you.
It's a compulsory order for DMs to do that to paladins. Sorry.
Yeah, I
you're
think
living your mouth outside again? Yeah, okay.
Oh, why did you even bring them with you?
Yeah, and I wouldn't mind, but especially in this sort of scenario, because there is a blue dragon that's quite hungry, so he will eat anything that he sees.
Yeah, and going around with a caravan full of horses, you're likely to draw attention at some stage. So back to this this hermit anyway that you're on about. Like, he's the main guide. He's the guy that's really going to give you the information to set you on the right track to find these caves. Because you're out looking for a bunch of magical items in a lost cavern belong to a wizard. You can mix them all together and just make one class out of them. Who died years ago. Everyone's been looking for her treasure, and you've been hired on, kind of a bunch of adventurers sent out to get it. The good thing is you get to keep everything you find, but the bad thing is you get taxed 15% by the guys sending you out. But yeah, the hermit is a guy kind of like the main person that can set you on the proper kind of track to this place, because other than that, you're wandering on the wilderness for fucking months. And I mean months, and that's what I kind of looked at going, oh my god, this is fucking, the amount of traveling you have to do.
I think that's what got a lot of was the amount of time you had to spend outside.
Yeah.
And like, it wasn't like our normal 3 days travel here. Like, it wasn't.
You could basically set an adventure before you even find. You could have a whole adventure in this land with everything that's put in there. The gnomes and all the other bits and bobs like that are just farting around this area. You could be traipsing around the mountains doing other adventures for fucking a year before you find the fucking place. Like, depending on what you decided as a DM to do, like,
Yeah, well, I think when I ran it, I was a little bit more of a straight line approach, like in normally am. You bumped into the hermit, the wormroost, the elven warband, and you did meet the gnomes.
Yeah.
And that's where the gnome Turrican group came in handy, like, because you got a little bit more favorable response than, going down the pointing road. You were actually quite restrained when it came to an awful lot of it, to be honest with you. I think it was the fact that it was just a short group, like, it's 5 characters started to play a big role.
Yeah, because I think when you have a load of characters, when you have a load of players in the group, someone's going to be like, oh, we need this to move fast, and things can get a bit out of hand, or players can get a bit pushy with the NPCs, and then the NPCs are just like, right, we're not taking this, you're done.
Yeah. Well, there's one or two NPCs you want them to do that.
Yeah,
so you can have a bit of fun, like,
But eventually, there's a little bit of a verse that you get on a page from an adventurer's journal from the hermit that would set you off on track. And it reads, "The horn of Igvil pierces the heart. Look over your shoulder before you start. How many sorrow foolish men because they didn't turn back then." I would be lost reading that. I'd be like, what the fuck is going on? I'd have no idea. I'd be just like, just point me in the track, please. Can I have an intelligence roll, sir?
My character has an intelligence of 19. I have 3. Help me out.
Yeah, this is where you're begging the DM, please make this 5th edition. I just want to roll a dice and find entrance. But yeah, you figure out where it is. Obviously, it's like there's a mountain that is pointy, and behind it is the entrance. So yeah, I suppose we can just kind of cut to that. We can cut to the entrance. I found there's like the whole big wilderness encounter thing and all that. I'll just scroll down here now. Man, there's like 4 pages of encounters. Like,
oh yeah.
I'm still going. There's more than that. 5 pages. I'm on page 12, and we're still... Here we go. Page like 13, and we're into the actual dungeon.
Well, like, you're rolling a d20 on the wilderness encounter table, so...
Yeah. It's a bit much, though, isn't it? I mean... Okay, look, if you want to be varied, you don't obviously have to play them all, like, but...
Yeah.
There's a good variation there.
Like, in fairness, you could really pick how tough you want it. You know?
Yeah.
Stone giants, worms, blue dragons, you're spoiled for choice. Like,
yeah. And obviously, like, there's no balance. In a good AD&D game, things shouldn't be balanced.
No.
You should be fighting
like,
things that are way harder.
Like,
yeah. Use your brain.
The Goblin Band, like...
Yeah.
Like, in the Goblin Band, there's what... a quick look at it there, you're roughly looking at 70 creatures to fight.
Like... Obviously, they're going to be camped out. Imagine, like... An unexperienced DM is just going to put 70 goblins on a track,
Yeah. Walking down in front of you.
Yeah. I just stand at the end of the track fighting one at a time.
Yeah. All good, like,
Just a line of goblins just getting bopped on the head one after another. Yes. How much XP is that? It's a lot.
A lot.
Alright, entering the caves. After you've kind of found the entrance to it. Nice big opening in the place. Now, I don't really want to give away this, because this is fairly good. This is kind of really nice, kind of like mystery kind of... mystery kind of opening of a cave. Like the first room in the place is kind of like, oh, like when I read this, I was kind of just like, there's all these faces. You come in, there's all these faces, kind of like all over the place, and they'll start to talk to you, giving you some information, basically telling you to get the fuck out of the place. This isn't for you. This is way over your head. You're in too deep. Get out of here. Which is kind of like, I don't know, I could see players kind of going, yeah, maybe 3 months in the wild, after finding this place I could just go home. I don't really need to go in here. But then obviously there's a bit of investigation with that. There's the 1 or 2 of them that are lying to you, telling you stories.
No.
Well, it's has to be done. Like, plant the old seeds of paranoia in the group. These things, if you're gonna play this, you're gonna run it like you can have a bit of fun with these faces in this room, and still a bit of paranoia into people. Turn the group on each other. It would be the start of sowing seeds and turning the group on each other, I think. If some people were playing their characters kind of a bit paranoid and others weren't, like, you could see him doing that. But this,
like, it's easy to target your teeth in a situation like this.
Yeah,
really paranoid.
Oh yeah, definitely. Even the bard. I've never met one person, Jay, that played a bard in my life.
I think you played a bard.
No, I don't think I did.
I think you did.
Okay, well, I can't really meet myself. That would be weird.
I think you played a bard in the past.
Making out with myself in the mirror.
You broke the game. Like, we brought to sit there going, "Oh, bard." No.
I was probably on drugs, Jay, that day.
Well, definitely. No, 5th edition, everybody wants to be a bard.
Yeah, too many people out there sniffing bags of glue, Jay. That's what it is. This cavern is fucking huge. There's a lot of rooms in here. So there's like another 20 rooms in this place. I think this is what Gary and Kunz were probably working off of, is like, let's just make everything 20 for this adventure. You know, we'll set it up like, you know, you have your level 11 on your volume. Like, this is level 20 for D&D. Definitely, just turn it all the way up to 20. 20 odd encounters, 20 odd rooms, another 20 odd rooms, and everything's turned up to level 20.
Yeah, it's massive. Like, it really is massive, and it would take you ages to actually.
I'm just looking here. The next encounter in room 2 has 20 Sturges in it, so they were definitely on a fucking 20 buzz.
Oh yeah.
Right, Jake. Sorry, go on.
To be said, like, if you were to like go around and do each of these rooms, like, there's a good bit of treasure to be had. Like,
oh yeah, there's
coinage, like, like treasure wise, it's very attractive.
Like, if you're going to be greedy and you're looking for your XP, like, you're in there, you're going to get you're going to keep going for gold, like, you know.
Yeah.
You're just going to keep going, like, yeah. Get as much XP out of this as possible. And trying to get all the stuff back is probably a bit daunting as well, like.
Because I've had a good look. I couldn't find anything in there, but I couldn't find, like, in a situation like this, on the pre-made characters as well, I didn't see it, and I don't see one in the adventure. Is a bag of holding.
Oh, there's one in the adventure. Yeah, there is.
Is there?
Yeah, there is.
I must have missed it. Like.
There is, yeah. But I don't think it's big enough to hold everything.
No, you definitely need something like that to be coming in here, like, you know. Unless if you were to start to, like, do it in stages. You done the first set of caverns, and then you went out to the known spot. You rested up, and then went back in again. And,
a few weeks travel in between a level.
Yeah, literally, like, if you were to live down here for a year or so, like, I mean, take care of it that way, then you'd be all right. Like, build a little home in one of the corners, you'd be all right. Like.
Go build a fucking whole village out in front of this place.
Yeah, be fine. Don't worry about it.
And we'll start up a trading post.
Yeah, there'd be enough stuff in there to do it anyway. You know.
True. Yeah. True. All right, Jay. Give us one of your rooms there. Give us a room that you picked out here for this.
One of my favorite rooms that I ran with you was 12. The Fomorian Giants.
Yeah.
Not heavy on the hit points, but the group we had were more or less you were sort of ranged in an awful lot. Yeah. So I had these just running on top of you.
Just put a charge maneuver.
Literally just boom straight in, and they started mashing hard. Like, but yeah, it was a good encounter.
Yeah, I mean,
you got a few encounters in the caves, like.
Yeah.
But this was a good encounter for you.
Yeah.
It didn't kill anybody, but it brought you down. And then the next encounter after that, more or less had you wavering a good bit. So that'd be the first room I would have picked, was that one, because I remember the encounter quite well.
Yeah, that has a decent amount of treasure in now, that room itself. Like there's a dose, there's a good dose of magical items in there.
Yeah.
You know, like, these lads love boots. I think these fucking Fomorians have a bit of a fucking foot fetish, like there's 3 pairs of boots in this place. 3 pairs of boots in this place. These lads are fucking sniffing feet, like, good all.
Well, I don't mean to be bad. It's not going to be the last pair of boots that you're going to find in here, a pair of shoes.
No.
So I don't think it's just the Giants that
have just not maybe that's what the boys are on, 20s. Oh, JT, between the two of them, they had 20 toes.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, the numbers are all joining together here now.
Well, they're Fomorians. They could have, like, maybe 21.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Well, it was more on about Gary and Cunts, like, with their 20 toes.
That's 2 boots.
That's 2 boots, lads. Come on.
But that was a good encounter for me. And then the next one was the Dow, room 18.
Yeah, even looking at the artwork now for that room, like, it's fairly cool. There's a few choice words, alright, in that very long description. You know, the box text at the start of it. I was looking at that to read it yesterday, and I was like, oh my god, there's way too much writing on that. I can't fucking do this.
That was another good encounter for you. I believe it was your character was sort of just sitting there thinking, yeah, this is a little bit too good to be true.
Explain this encounter now, because like, It starts off like
so like literally with the way it was he just more or less turned into it, and there was this lovely lush, richly tapestried, big cushions. It was very, very plush place. And
yeah,
there was
yeah.
this guy standing there greeting you, being so nice and offering you somewhere to rest your heads.
And this is in
You
the
know,
middle of a cave system, like.
in the middle of a cave system, yeah. And funny enough, like three of the characters were like, you know what, we're after getting beaten up. Yeah, maybe this is just a lovely little resting area. And you were offered food and water, and scantily clad chicks were walking around. Your man was sitting there, loving life, rubbing his hands together, smiling. And then the thief of the group just went, "Why isn't everything trying to kill me here yet? This is boring. Yeah, there's something wrong here." And he just slapped somebody with a sword, and things just went. Oh, that was the end of that.
See, I knew, Jay. I knew what was going on. Deep down in my soul, someone was being too nice to me in the Carrigans adventure. I was like, there's something wrong here. No one's
There's
ever
something
this
wrong
nice.
not in Dungeons and Dragons in a cave system where everything is trying to kill me from giants to mushrooms. But yeah, you got your attack off first, and then initiative went the group's way. Pretty much within like I think it was like 2 rounds, two of them drop. One
Yeah.
went running. The other one was injured, and you just matched them before they got away. So like it was nice. I liked it. I liked the setting. I liked the way it was like only one character in the group, and this to show you to hit the minds of D&D players sometimes. Literally only one character in a group of four was like something not right here.
Yeah. Yeah, it can
They're
happen.
being too nice.
It can
Being way
happen.
too nice. And everybody else was like, "Oh yeah, look." Oh. Yeah, so like the group was just like saying, "Oh, this is a lovely, cozy resting area. Like the DM has been nice to us. Nice plush pillows. We're low on hit points. Just chill out, eat up, rest up here, get a good night's sleep, and then carry on."
Yeah. Yeah, it's like that. You don't get rest like this in Dungeons and Dragons.
No, it's not a hole in the wall.
Yeah.
We have some stone-shaped cave.
Yeah, and the worst thing, if they had asked for money before going in, I probably would have went, okay, this is legit, like.
Yeah.
If they probably went, hey, it's going to cost you.
Yeah.
I probably would have went, yeah, here, no bothers, take my money. So maybe do that, DMs. Maybe actually start charging people to go into this place. It might make it a bit more believable. You don't get anything for free, like. Only death.
Did you read nice rooms yourself in this level?
Okay, so I have 2 rooms picked out now, and it's more because I like to kind of combat idea of it, or maybe the kind of like the visual imagery of and one of them is room 11, so just before the Fomorians. It's just a cavern, but it is filled with a bunch of cave morays. Yeah, so it's home to 16 cave morays. So moray is like, it's a big eel. Anyone who does fishing knows what a moray eel is. But these things are obviously a lot bigger, like. So when you look at the map, you can see all these kind of like little dots down along each side of it. And basically when the characters get into the center of the room, or center of this long cavern, these cave morays start shooting their heads out and basically start attacking the group from all directions. Like, now, I had like a few questions. It's kind of cool. You're stuck in the middle of a cave. You're fighting all these things that are coming out the wall, and if you're trying to run off, then these things are obviously biting you as you're running off. Like, but what I wanted to know is, because these things recoil back into the room, does it count as a retreat, or is it still part of its attack? And the same, obviously, on the characters. If the characters start running down this room, they're open to like a bunch of fucking these things just snapping at them as they retreat, like. But I just like the idea of being in this long dark corridor, these fucking evil, wicked faces, heads just coming out, just snatching you. I think you could have a bit of fun, just kind of like depict, kind of getting that weirdness in and that kind of crazy kind of creatures coming out through all these holes in the wall. But yeah, one of the questions I kind of was thinking to myself is, is this thing retreating when it pulls itself back in? Because it coils back up. I think it says it takes a round to attack and it takes a round coiling back up so it can shoot back out with you again. So is the thing technically retreating? Do you get a free attack on this thing? But then the thing is, like, obviously you can't attack it because it's back in a hole in the wall, you know? So that's the other sort of thing, like. So I think you kind of just have to watch how it's done. You know, is it out for a round attacking, and then you can attack, and then it pulls itself back into recoil to attack then, not the next round, but the round after. You know, that's just sort of idea.
Yeah.
And with 16 of these, like, how the hell do you keep account of all this sort of stuff, like? You know, you're just making a tick list on your page, tick, 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 you know, ticking off all this stuff. Now, they don't have a lot, well, they have a decent amount of hit points for Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. They're like 20 and nearly 30 hit points. So you're taking merely 4 attacks each, you know? It's going to take at least 4 hits.
I would sort of like put it down that anybody with a piercing weapon, when they recoil back in, you can stab through the hole. Because it gives them an AC for their head as 0,
and
so obviously their head is going to be pushed.
Yeah, I think it's like it's like a chance to hit the head or a chance to hit the body. So you know, but this is another thing then, like you have to roll for that, and then the DM is like, okay, let me just see what part of the body you hit, and you have to do that on a ton of stuff.
I would probably run it if they were recoiling in. I would run it that they have an AC of 0 because their head is going to be on me first.
Yeah.
Over the body, but when they come out and you're slashing at them, then I would do the chance of
instead of like making these rolls, just be like a quick decision on that. Yeah, and just sort of.
Because I think giving them the attack when it's using the round to recoil.
Yeah.
So it jumps out and attacks, and then it's going to go back in and recoil, so it can spring out again.
Yeah.
So that's like every one attack every part of 2 rounds. So the round that they're in there, you can just stab them with your sword, like, you know. So I'd probably run it that way. I'd give the players a little bit of a leg up on it.
Yeah, I mean, like they're making 1 attack every 2 rounds, like, so.
Yeah.
You know, it's still going to be like 8 attacks, even if you're just staggered out and just make 8 attacks each round, and then whatever dies, then just divide it out amongst what's coming in, and every second round, like, would be an easier way to do it, like, but yeah. No treasure in that room, not that I see anywhere, but that was just one of the kind of things I was just looking at. You know, there's a lot of creatures to kind of deal with.
Yeah.
Now, the other one then is back up in room number 4, and it's the guano-covered caves. Now, I like this because it's like, oh, here's a shit-covered cave. It's only going to be a load of shitty bats. Take them out, no problem. But then you get into it, and these fucking Magill start just swooping down on you. Now, okay, so it's 8 more bats. Okay, so I think it says like when you're going into the room, you can set these guys off. The first attack is a 50% catching you by surprise. Yeah, but then what happens is they attack you 1 at a time. So one guy flies down and attacks you. Next round, a different guy flies down and attacks you. Next guy, a different guy flies down. So you have 8 rounds of each one flying down. Now again, they're also attacking and flying away, so you don't get to use your action on attack, but you do get your retreat action. You know, you're attacking on a retreating creature. Because it's basically what they're doing, like. So it's only 1 attack. So like, let's say you have a good fighter who has 3 fucking attacks. You know, they're specialised out the wazoo, like, and they have their 3 attacks. So you're automatically cutting all that off, like, that's gone. And they're only getting 1 attack per round that way. But then at the end of, like, on the 9th round, if you're like, oh my god, this fucking combat has lasted 9 rounds, which isn't actually that long for a game of AD&D, these things then all start attacking you. So you might think it's only 1 creature flying, you know, attacking you each round, like, when in fact it's like 8 different creatures. And then on the 9th round, you're like, how many fucking hit points does this thing have? And then all of a sudden, wham, you know, you're hit by whatever's left, like, you know, if all your characters haven't been whacking one of these things and killing them out. But yeah, I mean, you know, they have an AC of 2, a movement of 15, so they're pretty fucking quick, like, you know, they've got 30 to 20 hit points again. So you're not gonna, you know, you're not gonna really be killing any of these till the 9th round, till they all decide to attack you. And then they've got a couple of pieces of jewelry up on a ledge, like, so there is some treasure there. It's not great for the encounter you've just had, like, but obviously you shouldn't be handing out like fucking doses of treasure for each encounter. So, but no, they were just kind of two of them that I kind of just liked the difference in the strategy of the creatures, instead of just like plonking them in a room. There you go. You know, again, like, you know, you have something different to kind of play with. And then the other thing is, though, you really have to think about these as a DM as well. Like, you know, you have a lot of keeping to kind of do with them, which I'm not a fan of, just to tell you.
Really?
The less I have to write, the better.
Shocked. Absolutely shocked.
I know,
I am not.
I'm totally shocked. Then, I suppose it's just the last room in this place.
Yeah.
Now, there is one or two other things as well. There's a lot of, like, waterways in this cavern. And in order to get around them, you're going to need, like, a boat. But you're in luck, because there's one there entered, yeah?
There is indeed. There's a nice little boat there. If you get to hold on to it.
It's kind of big, like, how are you going to get out there?
But we're going to just touch on that briefly. We're not going to get too.
Yeah.
I think that's nice. The other room that I found, like, in this, that I like, was the 20. There is a very nice item to be got there.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the better items that's in it, to be honest with you. Yeah. But other than that, it's a nice little combat round again. Not too hard.
So this is actually in one of the water caves, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this is when you're on the boat, like, which is kind of like, oh no, like being in an adventure around water is a fucking bad thing, like.
Well, especially if you're a fighter wearing full plate,
yeah. Even wearing leather armor and a cloak or whatnot, you still. But wearing plate, mate, you're fucked. You're fucked.
But yeah, no, there is the boat is there. It's quite nice, and then you're more or less straight into the greater caverns.
Yeah, but here, tell us about this black water thing anyway that you were saying. This room 20 that you're on about there.
Yeah, so there are the 6
with this, which are lovely,
blazed on gas in this place.
What the fuck
I like them. They're actually detailed in
the back, isn't it?
Second book.
Yeah. The second book is nice. There's like a massive amount of monsters with pictures for you, which is pretty cool. Like,
yeah, I enjoyed the second book, but it goes over the spells and everything in there as well. Like,
which is cool that you're getting a nice edition of all this stuff. And like, this was probably how much back in the day? $10?
I don't know.
It's I mean, like, imagine you were getting that today at the price you're going to fucking pay for it.
Price you pay for it now?
Yeah, I mean, like, there's going to be, like, this is a pretty decent sized module, but like, if you were to get that today, there's going to be loads of shit art on every page. Like, loads of bollocks, and the words, you know, the letters are going to be made bigger, everything's going to be sectioned off to look whatever, and it's just going to take, it's going to cost you €60 fucking, like. You know, and it's not going to be half as good as this. You know, it's not going to be half as good. I really prefer the older modules. You know, it doesn't need to be a hardback. Things don't need to be fucking hardback. You don't need art on every page, like. Nice little bit of art in this. But yeah, there's a good few, as you're saying, like, there was some nice magical weapons, some more magical items that's down along that place.
It's probably one of my favourite magical items in that encounter. So the actual treasure in this room, one of my favorite weapons in this entire scenario was here. Now, there's loads of weapons in here that are actually pretty cool, especially if you put in the demons and stuff. But this weapon here was a battle axe +2/+4 versus undead and negative material plane creatures.
Oh, okay. It's not many.
And the fact that it's a battle axe and not a sword made it, nice for me. Like,
yeah. It's a good change, like, you know, you're not, again, like, swords are pretty common, like,
yeah,
you know, to get an undead, because, I mean, you're going to give this to a dwarf or some shit like that, like, it's nice that dwarves are getting looked after, and the only thing they're not looking for is a dwarf or fucking axe belt of dwarven kind of acts as a throw-in. You know what I mean? The typical fucking magical items that they'd be looking for. There's something.
No, I really like that weapon. I did.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the group that played the game didn't come across that.
Oh, we didn't nearly drown in a pool of water. Thank God.
No, yeah, I was so disappointed. Really disappointed.
Yeah.
But no, that's probably one of my favorite weapons or magical items in this entire adventure.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Like, I mean, +2 to +4, negative fucking things. Nice.
Yeah.
So in the room 16, anyway, the last room before you get down to the next level, has a lovely guardian on it in this rainbowed coloured room. All this drippy magical stones, whatever the fuck. All this calcimite and everything, all these minerals that are covering the place, making it look like a rainbow. Is a kind of a weird creature. When I was kind of looking at it, I was like, this, I couldn't even fucking pronounce the name of it, like, usual. And it's a Gorgamir, obviously named then after the Gorgonites of old Greek mythology. The usual bullshit that they like to do here with this is rob Greek mythology. So it's basically like, this thing is like, it says, your group might mistake this for Chimera. It's got the 3 heads, you know, it's got a lion, a red dragon, and a Gorgonite. Does it actually say Gorgonite, though? Because can't be a Gorgonite, because the Gorgonites are 3 sisters. Yeah, you know. A Gorgonite is like one of the 3 sisters, like, you know. I don't mind people doing this sort of stuff, Greek mythology, but kind of annoys me in some ways as well. When you're playing and having a bit of fun, it's not too bad, though, like. But these things have breath weapons, so they've like turned the Medusa's head into a breath weapon. I think it probably should have just kept to the look, you know?
Yeah.
It would have been a lot more dangerous, this creature, then. It's not big on the hit points either, like. I mean, it's got 60 odd hit points.
No, and the AC isn't too bad either.
Well, AC is not too bad either, but it's just the breath weapons, like, and even the breath weapons aren't mad. You know, I mean, like, look, the breath weapon of the dragon is like a couple of D8, like, save for breath weapon a half. You're like what level? 6. Let's say you're 9th level, like we were going in here. You're gonna take the handy enough. The only thing you're gonna be worried about is the Gorgon breath weapon.
Yeah.
You know, which is petrification. But if it's a breath weapon, just make it a fucking visual thing instead, like, and just make it more mythological, you know, instead of like, oh, I breathe it to stone. My breath is fucking snakes, not my, or whatever. You know what I mean? My stinky breath turned you to stone. No one brushed my teeth in eons.
I think there is a picture of that in here.
There probably is. I have the PDF, and the PDF is not great. The PDF is not great for the artwork at all.
Right. So it has.
We'll put this up. You have a picture of it, they're doing at the end of it. Oh, it's in the monster section at the end, isn't it?
Yeah. So, like, if I was to look at the heads, I'd probably, as you were saying, like, rather than a threat weapon, you could probably have, like, you know, the sort of dragony looking head on it.
Yeah.
Probably just stare at you and its eyes light up or something.
Yeah, I mean, there's the 3 heads there, so.
Yeah. But
I'm just trying to find it here myself, just have a quick look at it. We'll stick a picture of this up on the YouTube, guys, unless you have a copy of it or you go to. Yeah, look, it's a classic looking Chimera sort of standing there, but then it's got like, for me, it's just a mess. I mean, as I said, the PDF is not great. Whoever fixed this up just turned the contrast up way too fucking high. Everything is like a black bludge, so I'm gonna try and get some decent pictures to have a look at. But yeah, you can pick this up on Drive Through RPG, the PDF. We'll stick a link up here, an affiliate link if you want to support us, so we can buy some more PDFs to do some more reviews, or just play some games, you know.
Just for clarity, Ian buys the PDFs.
I buy the PDFs.
Yeah. I buy the books.
Okay.
I like the smells.
Donate some money for JT to buy some books. 70, 80 euro should get you one, no? 60?
We get 2 for that.
You might get 2 for that, yeah.
But wait, somebody, like, you see, the problem with buying them for, like, less than the price you end up on maps like this, huh?
Yeah, someone's actually gone through it. Oh, what an idiot.
If you do have scenarios,
so JT just held up a picture of.
I would give you.
So JT just
don't use pen.
Yeah, definitely don't. JT just showed me a picture of the maze, and someone used red pen on it. Fucking idiots.
Use pencil.
Use pencil. Yeah. Like, Jesus, like, just remember what your mammy told you when you were writing on your school books. She needs to sell them at the end of the year. Don't fucking use biro on
it. don't use biro on it. You have to go back to the school.
Fucking Jesus Christ, like, because you're an arm and a leg. Yeah. Alright, so, after beating the shit out of this fucking stupid creature, there's a nice pile of boulders at the back wall. One of those boulders is glowing blue. And if you bust this thing open, it's very light. Like, you bust this thing open, there's a nice little message in it that basically gives you a couple of clues as you're heading down onto the second level, as this is the entrance to it. Boulder heap. Alright, in the center lies the gate, but opening it is sure to vex. Many are the guardians who wait. As you go to the middle hex, randomly sent to find a way back to a different iron door, a seventh time, and you may stay to seek the glowing prize no more. You have won old Igvil's prize, her hardened cache of magic, and feeds the one with yearning eyes, whose lot was hunger tragic. So after getting those dose of clues anyway, is hopefully you're gonna remember it. Hopefully someone's gonna write that down, because it's probably gonna be 2 months before it actually comes into play, most of it. Easily 2 fucking months. So again, this is a nice big cave system underneath you, and it's probably gonna take a few sessions to do this, like I would have the last couple of stuff. I keep seeing stuff from guys on YouTube going, 5 dungeons or 5 rooms in a dungeon is the most you need. You know, if you want to make the best of it and everyone have a great time. Do you know what? Fuck up. Put as many rooms as you want into it. Put 2 rooms into it if you want. Just, you know.
But then it won't be a dungeon.
Is it? No, it's going to be a cave, isn't it? It's going to be the back room in the tavern.
Yeah, my goodness. 5 rooms.
5 rooms. Yeah. You know, just so you can imagine finishing an adventure in one night, Jet. Jesus Christ.
What?
Yeah.
Where's the fun in that? Like,
what? That's not an adventure.
I've been in groups where it takes 2 sessions for some people to make up characters.
Fuck yeah. Even to buy weapons. Jesus.
Then go shopping.
And then go shopping, yeah. Yeah. Right, down in this section, Jay. How many? None of us died down here anyway, no?
No one died. A couple of close encounters.
Yeah. There's some nice encounters down here, like.
There's some really tasty encounters in this one. They are some tasty encounters. And then there's 1 or 2 that are just like...
There's some parts of this that are worse than the outdoor fucking section at the start of this adventure.
Yeah. I would agree with that. But there's some really nice combat-y ones, and then you have a puzzle-y one. Yeah,
there's a good mix of stuff like that. I think the lads go out of their way to kind of do, make sure that there's a good basis of stuff covered, like.
And then you have the labyrinth.
Fuck the labyrinth.
So that was epic. It wasn't that there was fighting or anything in it. It was just a case of like it took a session and a half just to do the labyrinth.
Yeah. There's I know of 2 other labyrinths in D&D games, okay? And they're not a walk in the park, like.
No, they're there for a reason.
They're there, like, people are like, don't put a labyrinth in because it only wastes time and your players get frustrated and they don't like it. That's what fucking labyrinth is for. Just it's there to frustrate players.
In fairness, like, you took advantage of it. Like, you did rest up and everything in there. You took your time, like, that's the way it was fed. You took full advantage of that. But that being said, I like, you did get frustrated. You really did.
Trying to get out of the labyrinth, but that's part of, as I was saying, like, that's part of a labyrinth. Like, you're meant to get like that. Yeah. Like, you have to you can't pander to your players the whole time. You need to put them under a bit of pressure and frustrate them sometimes, because then it makes the other stuff that are good, you know. Like it's like if you're giving your players highs the whole time, how do you up the high? It's like you have to do. Yeah, I think they're necessary every now and again. Like, as much as I hate them, I think they're necessary every now and again.
I think as far as Labyrinth's going again, this one wasn't overly complicated. It's not massive.
No,
there is another adventure. I can't really remember the name of it now, but it's literally a death doing. You don't get out there alive. It was another Gygax adventure, and that maze in that was massive, absolutely massive. This one, as far as mazes go, wasn't too bad. Sorry, I keep calling it maze. It wasn't too bad, but it did take you a while to get through it. And like the only two creatures in here are the Minotaurs, and as soon as you kill them, you were like, "Oh, we can rest up." So you took full advantage of it and then carried on. But I think this happened at the right time for the group, because you had a big encounter after that, and that more or less puts you back onto a level pegging of just skirting about before you moved on into more or less the final stages of it.
So, like, not only frustrating the players, but this Labyrinth actually gives players a place to rest. Like, you know, So there's more than one kind of use for it. Sometimes you just need to slow play right down where the players go, okay, I think it's time to sleep.
You have to remind them you have no spells.
Yeah, guys, come on.
You know,
10 hit points left. You can't take everything out.
Yeah, fighter standing there going, I still have 3 attacks. Let's go.
Yeah, fuck this. I can take everything out. Give me 20 more sturges. Come on.
But I think it's a nice place.
Yeah.
It's like, midpoint. You can rest up, chill, get spells back.
In order to get to the Labyrinth, you got to go into this little grove that has a dome around it that teleports you basically to the place. And it can teleport you to 3 other places. I don't know, I'm blinking a lot here. I think I'm having a few fucking seizures, thinking about the stuff that you could have ended up doing. And you could end up fighting a bunch of automations. And, if your group... Okay, look, if you have an odd number group and the last person... and the wizard happens to be the last person in what happens in that section, which is pretty much... You need to kill the automations, put their helmets on, and then you get teleported out of here. But you can only do that 3 at a time. If your wizard is the last person out there, he's screwed. Like, if the fighter and the cleric and whoever else decide to put on these helmets and leave the wizard alone, 3 more automatons are going to appear, or automations are going to appear and say goodbye. Say goodbye to 2 members of your group. Like, they're screwed. You could easily kill a few players here, like, no problem. Unlucky, like.
It is a nasty encounter.
Yeah. It's nicely done.
As you said, it's going to be dependent on who leaves.
Exactly. Like, I mean, look, to be honest, the first person who is going to pick up a helmet and put it on him to try it on is more than likely going to be the fighter. So so you have to think about that. Then there's another one where there's like a canyon full of centaur, and that's just so simple. It's like there's a whole 10 foot up, and the centaurs can't get up because centaurs can't bloody climb. So they're stuck in this canyon. How long have they been stuck in here, though? Like, why haven't they died? Why haven't they... why isn't there just centaur bones all over the place down here? So you have to climb up and help these centaurs out, like... And you could get caught under a nice rock slide if you're not careful. But then you have to figure out how to fucking get back, because, like, this thing is actually sending you to different dimensions. You're not traveling 20 miles away or to another part of Greyhawk. Like, you're actually heading off to a different dimension. And you have to get a certain thing then to get back from that, like, and then if you don't figure it out, well, you're fucked and you're stuck there, and then you gotta run and change your whole campaign and run that there, like, or figure out the next module here. But I mean, like, your players might never even know they're in a different dimension, so I don't think it really matters. Like, it's just like you're not getting the treasure. So off you go.
I mean, come on, like,
Yeah.
we've often played scenarios where we've ended up doing something we shouldn't have, and all of a sudden at the end has to, right?
Okay.
We're just going to play this instead, so.
Yeah, off we go with the next part. Yeah, and that's all part of it. It's like, whoa. But I think sometimes when it's a bit of like you're put into the situation, you have no control on it, then it becomes something that you're sort of like, and you just have to roll with it,
Yeah.
I think in a way. The other one then is a Hall of Pentagrams. Again, if the wrong character ends up here, you're stuck there. You get teleported into you appear in a pentagram painted on the ground that you can't get out of. There's a force wall around it. You're like, you're like a mime stuck inside it. No magic works, only a levitate spell. So you're fucked if you don't have a levitate spell. But pushing some stuff on the ground, you can levitate, and then you touch some more stuff, and other things happen. I think that's just a game of chance. It's like a game of Russian roulette with pentagrams, like, or pentacles. Fun, but like you're just poking. It's like just pressing a load of buttons on a combine harvester. Something bad might happen. Other than that, in other rooms around the place, I think that yeah. So that's the 4 kind of little bits for that room.
Yeah.
Have you any more rooms, Jeff, for this level?
Oh man, I thought the Cave of the Skull 11.
Cave 11.
Yeah. The Trapper. So basically, it traps his victims, smothers in 6 rounds. Victims cannot use weapons.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I like that. I really do. I thought that was a nice little creature, and it did actually catch the fighter. So it was up to everybody else
to get them out. Yeah. No, I can just imagine that now, because like it's not just that. There's also underneath that.
Yeah.
So underneath that is like a fucking rug of fucking smothering.
Yeah.
So even if this thing doesn't smother you might just get smothered by the rug of smothering. It's like fucking. I was just looking at it going, oh my god, that's fucking brilliant. It's a really nice encounter. Like,
I think like, it's just like you get over that encounter, even if you kill the creature or not. Like,
yeah.
And if you don't, it sort of backs away and starts pointing over towards the treasure.
It's like, I have my treasure.
And like, yeah. And you walk over, and it's probably going to be the fighter again. Like, who's just probably going to go, I'm taking something from this. Like, this is my little prize.
I've played a game years ago, and I got caught in a rug of smothering. And ever since then, I've always checked every single fucking rug that's on the ground. Especially with something that's trying to get you into the middle. I'm like, yeah, there's something. Nah. No. Probably metagaming. Like, my character probably shouldn't be doing this. Like, but
yeah,
I know.
There's
always something up at a rug. I mean,
I think like the rug straight after that encounter. I do like it.
Yeah.
I do, yeah. Because like whoever like if it's the same person that gets caught twice, man, they're
yeah, you're out of action. You're just sitting there. You could be sitting there for 10 minutes because the lads are taking 10 minutes or 20 minutes to kill the fucking, the first creature, and then you could be stuck there again with the lads trying to cut you out the fucking rug, and you're just like, oh my god, why isn't my character dead? I could at least be rolling up a new one.
Yeah. Like, I think that's my favorite one in this entire level.
Yeah.
The only one after that I really had fun with was the Draculist. I had good fun with him.
Draculist. Always kind of, when I hear that, I'm like, fuck. It's always one of those creatures that I was like, I don't want to fight one of these.
Yeah. It's the petrification that really does it. Like,
yeah.
But like, I mean, at the end of the day, he did manage to sort of get past this guy, but I made it a little more difficult by shortening the space in the room, so you were more or less funneled coming in. Because overall, like his AC was only 3 and the hit points was like minimum 55, you know. And like that day, like we had 2 fighters in the group.
Yeah, you'd go through that. You'd go through them pretty quickly with that.
Yeah, so just tailor the environment to the encounters.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, you don't necessarily have to up hit points or something on a fucking creature. You can just change the map, like, to suit you.
Yeah.
You know, oh, here, let's put them up on the fucking ledge instead. You can just breathe down how the character's going to get up there. Play around with it that way, like. Yeah, that's always a thing. Environmental hazards and...
Yeah, it was a case of, like, and I think it was just a case of just withering down spells an awful lot of the time from the wizard and the cleric. I think that's how I played this scenario for the long game, just draining spells. Like, no matter what you do to a fighter, he's still going to get his attacks. You know, where your wizard and your cleric you can affect directly by, just making things slightly more difficult on them, where they will have to cancel off the spells. And that way, when you do get to the last encounter,
it's that little bit more...
a little bit tough.
Yeah. Well, it's not going to be easy.
No. Well, it was never going to be easy, but...
I'm going to fireball it.
But,
I might magic missile. Oh, wait a minute. I have no magic missiles left. And you're all out of heal. But yeah, no, that Draculich one, it's a good creature, like, because it does strike fear in you. Doesn't necessarily have to kill anyone in the group or do enough damage, like. It's just that moment. No. Because beating that thing, you're sort of like, oh my god, we bet fucking Draculich. You know, and that pumps the group, pumps your characters up a bit, like, the players up a bit, like. Which is a thing that you want to have in it as well, like. I mean, needs to be done, like. But
it was needed after, like, in fairness, he did actually do the counter prior to that as well with the hill giant, and he had
and his giant beetle, yeah. So,
I
hate giants are fucking nasty enough just with the amount of damage to do with one slap, like.
Yeah,
you know, they can start really knocking a group around the place, like. Yeah, decent enough hit points as well, like. But yeah, the two of them one after another now was good. Yeah, you feel good once you've gotten through them, like. One of the things that I was looking at on this room is the Grotto of the Demon Idol. That's pretty nice because it's just a big stone idol that basically, as you go into the room, tells you, leave one magical item for me, and you can take one of your choice, from adventures that have been in here before. And this chest appears in its hands, and it puts it on the ground, and the chest opens up, and there's all this like magic just glowing out of it. Just like, oh, give me that. Little do you know, it's all a fucking illusion. And when you're focused on the chest, this stone golem is basically walked around behind you, and he just starts battering you. And you gotta make, obviously, when you take damage, the illusion is done. Like, but up until that point, like you don't know what's going on. Like, so I mean, depending on who you hit first. If the fighter doesn't get hit, the fighter's still under the illusion spell. If the cleric doesn't get hit, the cleric is still underneath the illusion spell. They don't know that the other characters are fighting, like, they're still trapped in an illusion. So you could easily just hammer one character after another, and you don't even deliberately, you could randomly be rolling to see who's getting a whack off this thing, and, because obviously it's a stone, it's a golem, so is it going to be focused on one character, or is it just going to start pounding whoever's in front of it, like? Yeah, no, I like that, because you could... It's a little bit nasty. I mean, another thing that I don't like golems at all. Like, they're just a hassle and a half. Like,
for me, golems are one of those things that you put into who more or less. Once again, it's going to be a drain and encounter. Like, hit points, spells. That's how we look at golems.
Yeah. Yeah, but they're immune to spells. That's the thing about them.
Yeah.
So,
but you see,
you're like,
we both know you're still going to have a cleric and a wizard that want to try something.
Yeah. I mean, I can't really remember how golems work. I just use this spell on it.
Especially if it's the first thing they've encountered.
True. Yeah.
Because they're not in every scenario.
No. I mean, I think there's two in this, isn't there? There's a clay golem or something that was earlier on in the first one.
Yeah.
That's gone berserk, and then you obviously have a stone one here. I'm just waiting for an iron one to pop in, but you're not really high enough level to be dealing with them. Like,
no, not yet.
Not yet at all. Alright, so the next one then on my list obviously is the Iron Doors. And that brings us back to the little rhyme I tried to read out there that I'm not going to try and read out again. It's just like, I'm just touching my head here and saluting the air. It's like, oh, fuck me. It really is designed to make you do the whole dungeon at this level, isn't it? Like, you open one door, you go down the corridor, you touch the door at the far end, you get zipped back out. You gotta go around again. It's like, you just end up having to go around in a circle. So you're going to do the majority of this level before you even get in. Like, it is going to wear you down, as you're saying. Like, you're going to get wore down going into this place. Maybe a good thing would be to go for now a nap before you go in the last time.
Yeah.
I was just reading that going, oh my god, I could just imagine people, if I was to run this, people in the group after the second time just going, fuck this, I'm out of here. I'm fucking done with it. Maybe the third or fourth time, actually. I'm fucking done with this. Because I could almost do it myself, just be like, oh my god, Jesus Christ. I just push on just out of stubbornness, because I'm stubborn like that. I just need to get it done, like.
No, I do think this is a nasty way to sort of get to the finale, or like, you know, I really do.
Yeah. But I mean, look, you're warned in the little rhyme at the start, like, you know, 7, do it again afterwards. You know, so you know you're gonna have to, like. It's a good warning. But if you didn't write down, you don't remember it, you know, you're just gonna be, you might just be miserable. Who knows? But it's a nice way, as I said, to make you do the rest of the dungeon, do the whole dungeon. Which is another way the DM's saying to you, come on, clear the place out, get the treasure, like, you know?
Yeah.
They're not, it's like, come on guys, let's just walk, like, there's more there, there's more treasure there to be got, there's more XP to be got, go get it. You know?
I think it was at this point that I think he had gotten through like 2 of the doors. And that's when I dropped in. There's actually, in your encounter sheet, the booklet, there's any amount of demons and stuff you can do. With the pacts that she had, like, there's actually a demon prince in there, and it was actually him that I pitted against you. And
so
in fairness to you, like,
this is a different guy. This is because it says you know, she fought a demon before she died. Like, this is kind of like why she died, like, because of all her meddlings with the demonic people. Or the demons, I should say, not demonic people. Demons aren't people. But yeah, is this like one of the guys that she had trapped before, or is this just someone who's still trapped down here?
This is a guy who turned up because you were getting like a bit too close to the treasure, and like there is a certain item in there that you will be back down into, for, like, you know.
Yeah.
And he wanted it for himself, so he just more or less made an appearance. But he ended up defeating him, and it was your character. I changed some of the stuff on him. One of his weapons, probably one of the other ones that I did, like, you know, you ended up getting, and he ended up being a thorn in your side for quite some time after that. Especially seeing as you had the item and you had defeated him, so I had him come back now and again to.
It's kind of, I think it's a common theme with my characters is they end up getting hunted by demons for robbing magical swords, because it's not the first time it's happened.
No, definitely not the first time. No. Adventure that Paladin
had done the same thing to me. I was like, oh, I'm gonna die. I finished the adventure, but I'm gonna die.
It was worth it. So worth it.
Yeah, it's cool. It's like, it's nice to have, you know, it's like an after story in the end of it. Yeah, you didn't live a happy life. You finished the adventure, but you died.
Eventually. At the hands of the demon that you stole the sword from.
Why did I do this? Why did my greed get the better of me? Now, after you get through all these doors, when I was reading this, I suddenly just reminded me, I was like, oh my god, I did play this fucking game, because we played this like 20 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
Easily. And I was like, why is this room very familiar to me? Like, with the slide, and I knew straight away. I didn't even read this one stats. This girl that's stuck in there. Actually, look, you explain the room before I fucking ruin it.
So it's like a dome.
Yeah.
more or less, and it's smooth.
Hmm.
And when you first went in there, you seen this beautiful maiden lying on a sarcophagus with a sword on her, and she was lovely armored out, and she looked peaceful. And all of a sudden, she was like woken up slowly with a sharpened inhale, and she was like, "Oh, you saved me!" Oh, and of course, once again, it was just like a too good to be true moment.
Yeah.
And
And this is an
I
easily drawn. This is like a draw. There's a really good drawing of this in the adventure, isn't it?
a lantern above him.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, no, there is a very nice picture.
Yeah.
And there's the lantern is just hung on a gold chain coming down from the ceiling. And when you came in, she had woken up and she had explained that she was trapped down here, and the only way she could be set free if all four doors were opened is what I had told you, and he had finally freed her. And yeah, once again, it was just like too good to be true. And battle commenced. And then she started running up along the walls and
Yeah, I
fighting
was
me through
like,
the ceiling and everything. Like
my eyes nearly
so,
popped out.
it was a good encounter. But once again, this one did last a good bit because you were already weakened from the previous encounters, and the AC on this creature was pretty nice on -3, and the fact that she was a vampire
Yeah.
helped a bit. She did charm the wizard who was a human.
Yeah, because she
So
tries
she
to
did,
charm everybody, doesn't she?
yeah, but she only got the wizard. So he was pretty much out of action. And then he did beat the snot over though in the end.
Yeah.
And
But
I think once again,
she's a dose and a half of hit points. Like, she's 90 odd hit
oh,
points. Like,
like
at a
no, she
-3,
wasn't.
it's like, ooh, at 2 attacks.
Yeah, she's a 13th level fighter, like,
Yeah.
So, and her sword was.
I'm not even going to look at it here what the sword is. I am actually going to look at it. Why would I not?
Yeah, her
I can't
sword
even
was
find it.
pretty cool. She hit the cleric pretty hard,
Yeah.
and the cleric was out for, I think he got 2 rounds where he was just like boom, gone out again. But she didn't capitalize on it because once again the fighter, the two fighters, but there was predominantly one that had two weapon pointing. Like so,
Yeah.
he just mauled in again, like, and he was hitting her pretty regular, like 2 attacks around.
Yeah, because she's
Was at
energy
least landing,
draining a
like,
whole lot, like, doesn't she? So
yeah.
there's probably a few levels lost here and there, like.
Oh, there was, yeah.
Yeah.
Like the cleric lost. I think it was like 2 levels there, and one of the players lost.
I always see people complaining that energy drain is like the worst thing to ever happen to you in Dungeons and Dragons, like AD&D. Like the worst thing, oh my god, lost 2 levels. Oh my god, lost another 2 levels. Oh my god, I died. Tough luck. that's all I can
Yeah,
say.
I mean, it's happened to me. I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, no, I've been
I
killed by
really did.
wraiths
Like,
and the whole lot by
I mean,
the.
like, I had just hit, like, I think it was just like 5th level, and I had just picked, like, I think I had another weapon proficiency and new hit points, and
Yeah.
everything was rosy, and then it was hooked on.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, energy drain is a pretty nasty thing, like, but it's part of it. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's
In
what big
fairness, like,
creatures
she
do.
didn't really get too much off of it, like,
Yeah.
but the fight did last a bit. Like, in fairness, the group was sort of down. They were down the wizard and they were down the cleric for 2 rounds, like. So
Yeah.
she literally just had the two fighters and the thief to deal with them at that stage. But you had already gotten the sword from outside, and you were using that in this
Yeah.
fight for your first time. So you didn't know the command word for the answer on it or anything. But then again, like, it was just a case of, like, he withered her down again, and then she just went poof into schmutz. And I believe once again it was the thief who actually picked up her weapon. He was the only one that was evil inclined in the group. I think you actually matched that sword very well. You never used it though. I think you ended up getting rid of it because it was really, really trying to, bring you over to the dark side.
Yeah, I can't be doing that. And it might be a thief, like, but I can't be going to the dark side, like.
Yeah. So, no, that was a good fight.
Yeah. Was it like
Really
it was
was.
it's a well remembered encounter for me playing when you were running it, like. It's something that I always talk about. Even everything else, like, is gone, but that encounter, like, was really like sort of like, oh fuck, we're in a round room, we're in a ball, we're fighting inside a ball.
Literally. Literally.
And this
And with
one
the
running all
slippers,
over the place,
like,
like, oh, fucking name
yeah, with the
attacks, etc.
slippers she had, it made it really cool.
Yeah,
It really did, like, you know.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed running that. That was one of my favorite encounters in that scenario. And unfortunately, as I said, the wizard was gone. I heard it over the round, so that meant it was just like a hack and slash.
Yeah.
Like the fighters really enjoyed it, you know. But they were like, I think one fighter was left with like 2 hit points, and then the other fighter had lost 2 levels, and he was down to like maybe 3 hit points left. So it wasn't a case that it was an easy, fight at all for you.
Yeah.
It was pretty thick.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, look, good fucking Unreal Armor class there, -3 and a dose of hit points, like and just running out. You know what I mean? Like, you can't maneuver. You're stuck either standing on the coffin down there or you're up on one of the ledges. You know.
Yeah.
You can't.
And I think it's sort of like anytime she pulled out a battle, she could regenerate. Well, no, she didn't have to pull out a battle, but she was regenerating 3 hit points.
Yeah, I mean, look, if she wanted to, she could stand on the ceiling. Nobody could do anything. Well, you could fire up at her, maybe, because I mean, there's the screens in front of the ledges and that. You know, I'm sure you could kick one over if you needed to, but that does basically stop you from firing at her, because you're in behind. But then it gives you a bit of cover. But then it also says that it also gives her the opportunity to fight you alone.
Yeah.
If you're up on that ledge by yourself, like. You could be, kind of wiped out pretty quickly. Like, no hassles at all. Like, but when she turns into gaseous form, sorry, go on.
So from what I remember, your AC wasn't crazy.
No, I don't think we were crazy. We'd normal enough armor class, like,
yeah. So you were fairly easy to hit for her. No, I didn't dumb this encounter down at all because it was going to be the last. Like, well, for me, it was the last big fight you would want to have. So do the best I could for you. But it was very close to the end. Very close to the end.
Yeah, I mean, like, once she turns into gas, she like goes inside the coffin. There's another fucking thing inside that.
Yeah.
And then there's another thing inside that.
but like, I know we've covered just some of the more encounters, but the length of time it takes to get to this point, the amount of effort put in by the group to actually survive to this point until the creatures and everything else, the rewards are pretty cool.
Yeah, like, they are, yeah.
I mean, you're coming in here for like books and the lantern and things like that, like. But the actual books that you got from it, like, I mean, there was something there for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you've got all the manuals of fucking bodily fucking health and gainful experience and leadership and, like, what's the price of one of those? I've no idea. I can't even remember the prices on these things. They're astronomical, aren't they?
Yeah, I think it was about 50,000 or something.
Yeah, 50, 100,000. 15% of that, that's a good dose of the treasure you have.
That wasn't even but that wasn't even the best thing in there, like,
when I was looking at it, I was still like, they're kind of good, like. Well, I mean, like, you're gonna get some pluses on your stats, like, from all this sort of shit, like, which is nice. It's a good thing to get, after you're like, you always read these things in the DMG, and you never pick them up anywhere. Like, to be honest, this is probably one of the only adventures I've seen him in. Now, I have obviously put him in my own adventures, but in a written adventure, I don't think I've seen him in anything else. Now, maybe there's like a 3rd edition adventure or something like that. Maybe there could be one in one of the 5th edition adventures, but I can't remember, to be quite honest with you. Which is really cool. There's 2 creatures here that I really love. That's the I can't say this now. Yagia and the Yagi. They're the negative and the positive creatures. So one is negative, obviously, it'll do energy drain and that sort of stuff on you. The other one's from the positive plane, I think. So you get more energy done that way. But if you manage to pull 2 of these things out at one time from opening up the coffin, to get these books, like, because they are the guardians of the book, isn't it? Of one of the books, like, these things will just fucking explode and just blow it up, place to shit, like. Which I was sort of like, that's nasty. That's nasty. No, like, it's a nice way, you know, books are protected. It's not just a fireball going off.
Yeah.
But it could be. Yeah. But the books are good.
The books are good, and like, I think, like, you know, the Mannequin of Igville, like, you will get hunted down for that, like, you know.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, because this thing has, like, the true names of demons inside it. And,
yeah.
And that, you can call them and summon them. That gives you more power over them. So,
yeah.
If you have a member in the group who wants to start going that way, you're fucked.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think, like, it's always nice to have. I know you finished the scenario, it's done. You've closed the book on it. But 6 months later, you're out in the wilderness camping. You know, you're on your way to another adventure. You know, and all of a sudden you get set on by a fucking ton of demons. You know.
Yeah, you come across a cabin in the woods, like, you know. Yeah. With your demonomicon. All of a sudden you're drinking a fucking kettle of hot water because some little fucking imp climbed down your neck, you know.
Looking for your boomstick.
Yeah, where's my fucking boomstick?
But all in all, I mean, like, you survived it, you got out with the treasure, and you left a lot behind. You really did. You could have gone back in again.
Yeah.
And again.
I find that, like, with big, huge adventures, that sometimes you've spent so long in them that once you finish it, you're like, can I just move on somewhere else? You're drained.
Yeah.
And even the treasure in there is not something that you're just like, look, I want to go do something else. I'm just drained. I can't go back in there.
I want to see sunlight.
Yeah, I want to see. Yeah, look at me in pasty white. Yeah. You know, you want to go off and do something else. You don't want to be going back in just to get 50 gold pieces. Or, well, I'm not saying it's not as. Obviously, if there's treasure left in this place, it's a hell of a lot more than 50 GP, like. But that's also the thing as well, like, I mean, you're never going to get everything in an adventure. You shouldn't get everything either, like. There should always be something left behind, because if you do end up playing it again in another couple of years, and you go down a different tunnel because you can't remember the adventure, and you get different treasure, you know, it's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
You know, that's the nice thing about these kind of big places. But yeah, like, I don't know if it'd be as fun playing it again. Now that, like, my attention span is probably shortened a bit more, like. You know, but obviously I'd happily roleplay it, but as I said, area encounters for me, wilderness encounters are not nicest. It's just like, come on, get these over with, please.
Yeah, no, I don't mind wilderness encounters. I really don't.
I think as long as it's something good, like, you know, as you had with the hermit, you know, you have something to interact with, like, you know, it's not like just an like, one of the things I found really pointless, and that was the avalanches and the landslides. It's like, okay, right, you know, do you want to roll this? Yeah, okay. Now there's this big huge warning on the afterward in this about gaining experience and running the game properly. People might give out about, but you know, you're a good DM, so you should, like, run this to the fullest. And it basically says, don't let up on your characters. Don't let up on the players. And if your players aren't interested, or just are playing shite, or just not focused, just, you know, like, don't pander to them, you know?
No, I think,
like, don't be like, yeah, here's more XP for you, and here's all this sort of stuff, like.
No, I think there is a fine line between, like, enjoyment and taking the easy road with some of these older adventures, like.
Yeah.
And with this one, regardless of what's said or what wasn't said, at the end of the day, the group I had ran with, they had a hard slog to get where they got.
Oh yeah,
they really
yeah.
And I do think if you're going to run this adventure, you shouldn't cheapen it by making it easy, because the rewards are big.
Yeah.
But, like, you're talking free stats here.
Yeah.
a fighter who's going in there with a strength of 18.
And he gets another bump, like. Yeah.
A thief going in there with a dex of 19. I mean, with racial bonuses and the rolls he have going in there, and I mean, I think you need to be very wary of that. Like, a cleric going in there with a wisdom of 8 and coming out with 19.
Yeah.
Like, it's a game changer for a lot.
Well, unless they're going in to play the Tomb of Horrors afterwards, then it doesn't matter how many fucking stats you have.
It does make a difference.
It doesn't make a fucking difference.
But we all know at the end of the day, there's nothing better for a player to be like increasing stats.
Yeah, it is something that you're kind of, especially when you put the fucking work in and you get it, like, you're sort of like, yes, you feel it's well deserved, like, yeah.
So I would be just like, I wouldn't make this a soft game for anybody.
No, play it by ear yourself as well, like, I mean, it's a you're trudging through this, like, you're trudging. It's a big. There's a lot in it, it's a good few months play, like, easily.
Yeah,
2 to 3 months play, like, if you're playing once a week.
Yeah, I'd make it enjoyable. I really would. For
yeah.
I honestly would.
No, I remember when we were playing with you, it was enjoyable. Like, there was nothing you're sort of going, oh, only the maze, obviously.
Well, the maze.
Yeah. That's what they're meant to do.
Yeah. Well, I think the maze, as I said, just to touch on it again, like, it came at the right point where you did need a rest, you did need to get your spells back, you did need to heal up a bit, like, so I think it worked in your favor there.
Yeah.
And I would try and use that again in a similar situation, like.
Yeah, exactly. Like, have it in that section. That's the same as you're saying, like, maybe them players might need a rest afterwards. Players just might. You might just need to. You might just need to confuse your players a little bit as well, beforehand, or just have them like a little bit before they go into something.
Yeah. I think
there's a reason kind
of
for putting this stuff in, like.
When the event, especially with adventures like this where they are quite long and drawn out. I do think players tend to forget, like, that they do need to rest up, they do need to get their spells back.
Because you're pushing through.
Stock, like.
Yeah, you just want to push through. Like, I remember now in a few games that we've just done 3-4 rooms one after another. Like, no healing, no not, just push it. And then after that, you're like, oh, why did that character die? Oh yeah, because we're on 10 fucking hit points and we haven't drank any healing potions. Or the cleric hasn't cast anything, like.
But I do think it's nice just to have something like that, just to slow things down a little bit.
Yeah.
And, like, one of the best things about slowing down a game in a situation, even if it is a maze or elaborate, like, players do get a little bit bored and go, see. Going to rest up, like.
Yeah, but they're also left there to check what's on their character sheets, have a look over treasure that they've got. Yeah. It's like, okay, guys, you've gotten a dose of stuff now. Look over it, please. Come on. remember what you've picked up, like. And not to be like, what? 3 sessions down the line, oh, I had that. That could have saved me.
That's where
I could have saved. Yeah. I picked up a potion of giant strength. Oh. We left out a good few rooms there anyway, JT. There was like some other nice creatures. Like, I think it's the first mention of a Bodak in an adventure. Obviously, a lot of these creatures are new enough that they made up for it. Like, crystal oozes. We missed crystal oozes.
Yeah,
Darryl was there.
We all know how I feel about oozes and holes. I think they should be in every game.
Oh yeah, totally. Ton of demons in this. I don't know. This is probably because beforehand we would have just got like demon type 1, 2, 3, 4, and now there's actually like some names and some stuff to them, which is nice. You can start using them, like the Dretch. I think this is probably the first mention of a Dretch. No, maybe not actually. Maybe that's in the DMG. Yeah, the artwork in it, looking at some of the monsters is pretty cool. Like the fucking Darrow, I hate the look at Darrow. They just look fucking distorted.
Yeah.
And evil as fuck. I actually like using them. I like using them in adventures though. They're pretty nasty individuals, like and the Dracula Ska, obviously. But yeah, overall, like, you're getting your bang for your buck, as you say, with this adventure, with the amount of stuff that's in it back in the day, Definitely plenty there to keep you playing for a fucking long time, like.
Oh yeah.
Like, you could go mad with this. You know what I mean? You could.
Like, we didn't even touch on the demi-lich, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, you know, I mean, like, if you wanted to, like, I would, as we said, it's not going to be a scenario that's going to be covered in one session. Like, this is a long haul game. Like,
it's a long haul
game.
Yeah,
it should be treated as such. Like, it really should. Like,
what's the other one? What's one of the big adventures that people are into with the big cave system that's in it? Keep on the Borderland, is it? No.
Big.
There's one of the earlier adventures anywhere, but it's not, but it's a big load of caves, and you keep going back and forward, in and out of them, and then eventually clean them all out. And there's orcs, and it goes kind of up in level as you're going in onto it. You could do the exact same thing here with this.
Yeah.
Run a whole fucking campaign around the thing, like.
And I mean, like, you know, there's a line there to clear out, and there's nothing to say, like, you know, that the characters are going to stop there. Like, as you said, they could turn around and decide, you know what, this cave system, I mean, likes to spot itself home for a bit, like, you know.
Yeah. You know, camp out front and just keep going in and out and clear the place out, like. Well, obviously you're in the middle of nowhere. I don't exactly know where it is in Greyhawk. Like, obviously it's mentioned in the adventure now, and you'd have to find it in the map. Like, but I mean, you're up in the mountains, so you're not near civilization. It's going to take a few weeks then to get back out into civilization. Jay, I think we should call it at that because our editor is going to be like fucking. He doesn't have any hair to pull out of his head, but we're at an hour and 40 minutes. He's gonna have a nice time editing this up.
Yeah, no, I'd say we'd be okay at that.
Yeah,
and we do have our game to play. So
yes, yeah, we're gonna have to playtest some stuff now later on. Finish off playtesting some stuff. We'll keep you updated on that when it's finished playtesting. Maybe I might put some posts up somewhere. Guys, thanks for joining us in this hot weather. I hope you're having some nice drinks, not drinking too much now. Don't want to get dehydrated out there in that summer weather.
Summer weather. It's cloudy and it looks like it's going to rain here.
It's fucking roasting here, man. You don't want to be over here. I got sunburned and everything.
Oh, you're ginger.
I know, yeah. JT, I just have to look at the sun and I get burnt.
It's only getting you
through welding.
Through
welding glasses. It is. It's only getting me ready.
welding glasses.
I'll be like, I still get sunburned. Magical. Guys, join us next time. Hopefully, we don't spend 2 months away and we actually get to record a bit quicker. But, you know, we had to take some holidays, like, because we're pretty wrecked from working hard, you know.
Well, we did take holidays. We ended up in Spain and we ended up meeting up,
yeah. And I was off in France last week. Enjoying myself up the Alps. Getting sunburnt in the Alps. It was great.
Fancy, ain't you? Up in the Alps, huh?
Guys, talk to you soon. Have a good one.
Have a good one, folks.
We'll let you know what's up next anyway. We'll figure out what adventure we're doing next. Alright, talk to y'all later.